Are you a pro wrestling fan? Then odds are at some point in your life, you were a backyard wrestler. In this new series, I'm going to take you through how we came from this to this. It's a long story, covering nearly 2 decades. But if you're a nostalgic person missing the backyard days of yesteryear and a simpler time of the 90s and early 2000s, this is the story for you. This is Backyard Wrestling Cinema. Welcome to Backyard Wrestling Cinema Season 5, Episode 6. On our last episode, we saw some cracks starting to form in the Old School Alliance as they accidentally cost Hellspawn a number of victories. However, the Old School Alliance was easily the strongest faction in our backyard wrestling company, B4W. We had begun filming vignettes and promos at our public access location, which was held at the Cablevision office. It was basically an indoor studio where you could borrow their cameras, record in their studio, and it cost nothing. And we started doing that with our vignettes and promos, and some of those would air this week as well. The first match on this show was Tommy Thunder taking on Mumbles. Mumbles was the #1 contender for the world title. However, he was starting to cause problems backstage. And when I say backstage, I mean he was causing problems in front of the camera, but they were causing tension behind the scenes.
Smell under that defunct armpit.
And I've seen the nip bubbles. Yeah. Tommy Thunder, well known for the nip ups. Oh, Mumbles got nip bubbles. No, that's slick, ladies.
Tommy Thunder did his best in this one to make Mumbles appear like he was his equal. However, Mumbles once again was not listening to our directions and decided to take off his pants and continue the match that way. Now, I'm sure that was probably funny in the moment, but, you know, when you're 17, 18 years old, and then you realize your match is getting cut off of the show, that's a big deal for people who really cared about this stuff. So obviously we couldn't use any of that footage. So we aired a graphic that said exactly why we weren't airing it, that Mumbles caused a disruption, and we kind of played it into his character. But this was a very real problem. It was something that continued to happen. We had issues with TJ Money before we put the world title on him, and we didn't want the same issues happening with Mumbles. We kept hoping that things would improve with TJ Money once he got the belt, and things only got worse. And now we were seeing a lot of the same issues, albeit different issues, with Mumbles leading up to what was supposed to be his world title win. I couldn't justify, even though he was my cousin, putting the world title on him and hoping he changed his behavior after he already had the belt. It didn't work that way. Backstage, the Beast held auditions for a new tag team partner. Previous week, he broke up with Bobby Bowe, and for this audition, Cobain showed up, Agent Bibbs, Super Sweet, and actually at some point, Bobby Bowe came in to audition.
Get out.
In the end, Hellspawn showed up, and the Beast thought that they could be an unstoppable force.
That's not a bad idea.
Now, this is right after there had been some issues with Hellspawn and fellow members of the Old School Alliance. Beast and Hellspawn would team up in the next match to take on the team of Bobby Bowe and Rico DMF. At the pay-per-view, it would be a last man standing match between Hellspawn and Rico, and Bowe and the Beast would also have a battle. So this was a preview of those matches. It was clear that Hellspawn and the Beast had good chemistry and would work well together. However, in the end, Christian Greed accidentally cost Hellspawn, and the Beast by default, the match, furthering issues between Hellspawn and the Old School Alliance.
Oh, the gates of hell. Oh, Rico, coming up on the shoulders. Can you take Oh, Rico, get down. Rico, 1, 2, 3.
We did a press conference where the Old School Alliance addressed all their opponents for our pay-per-view Aftermath. Homeboy Joe Slice, who was one of our best wrestlers at the time, defended the United States title against Justin Time. During the match, Tommy Thunder began hitting on the Fly Girl, who was Justin Time's manager.
Like an oncoming car, almost like a drive-by. Could I be signaling for something at the end? Hey! Alright, arm wringer. What are you waiting for? Mac and cheese. Hitting on the Fly Girl. Oh.
And since Tommy Thunder was my best friend, I eventually got jealous. And this was based off the relationship on Boy Meets World between Corey and Sean. And we kind of did it that way, where I would always get jealous every time Tommy Thunder was with anybody else besides me. Eventually, Tommy Thunder swept her off her feet, quite literally, and we all left Homeboy out there for an easy victory. TJ Money made his way out there, and at the time, TJ Money was doing this Big Brother protection angle with Justin Time.
How many are you gonna do, homeboy? It's just rude and cruel. Just like the Old School life. Oh, picking him up for another one. 1, 2, 3. Hey! And home.
After Homeboy got the win, TJ would distract Homeboy, and that allowed Mr. Benjamins, the man who would challenge for the United States title in a TLC match at Aftermath, to hit Homeboy Joe Slice with his own finishing move.
Joe Slice! Homeboy! Oh! There came Mr. Benjamin! He has a block! He's gonna nail it! Oh! He nailed the drive-by on Homeboy Joe Slice.
Next up, we saw a preview of some of the Aftermath pay-per-view matches. The High Rollers take on the team of Super Sweet and TLD. Now, if you've been following this might seem like an odd pairing. However, those were actually the first team that the High Rollers ever took on in B4W.
Oh, no. Oh, he broke. Oh, no.
At the time, Super Sweet was doing this weird thing where he was humping the ring post. So during their promos, the High Rollers decided to give him condoms to practice, being safe. And they did this weird angle where they kept trying to say that TLD was drunk off of water. And I don't get it. I didn't get it at the time, but I just kind of was hoping I could give TJ Money something small so maybe he wouldn't be as difficult to deal with. But it really, even looking back at it, I really don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't get how it would have worked, what the payoff would have been, anything. I don't get it, but it didn't matter in the end because Super Sweet absolutely stole the show. He took all the heat away from this entire thing. He started blowing up the condoms in the background and waving them around, and it just made everybody laugh, and nobody was listening to anything TJ or Benjamins were saying during the promo.
24 seconds. Look at this. He's wearing glasses all the time for a reason. He just came at it double A. This boy has a problem. We're here to take care of it. You can't have none more of this. You gotta end all that. No more drinking smell. Hey.
We show a music video for Hellspawn and Rico DMF building up their last man standing match, and this match has been building since Hellspawn's debut several months back. Beast came out to watch the upcoming match between Hellspawn and Joe D of Misery.
Big and strong. You love him, don't Take him down with that close. Oh, a huge DDT. Has it.
Told you he got it.
What's he going for? Oh, that pancake-like maneuver.
And Jody had been getting a push the last couple weeks, all leading towards his match with Tommy Thunder. After some interference from the Beast, Hellspawn gets a win.
Caught him thinking too, if you know what I mean.
Look at this. He's even getting more.
Oh, he's getting angry. Now the Beast will slap him.
Oh, low blow
with a backhand low blow.
This is be on the way to hell again. Oh, nailing the front face version of it. 2, 3.
So the idea was you have the old school alliance interfering and Hellspawn loses. The Beast interferes and Hellspawn wins. So who is he likely to team with going forward? That was kind of my thought process there. Christian Greed makes Rob Blivious run the gauntlet. He'll wrestle me in a submission match and Tommy Thunder in a hardcore match. And if he's successful in either or both of those matches, he wrestles Christian Greed for my world title in a match that Rob Blivious can pick himself. We had to do this because the match with Tommy Thunder and Mumbles was supposed to be our main event, and we had to cut it completely short, and Mumbles had already left for the day, which was not common. That's not something we really wanted anybody doing. I wouldn't say we didn't allow it. It just wasn't what we expected of all the guys. It was pretty much you were there, you stayed till the end, and we all left together. So this was not a good look leading up to Mumbles' big world title match. I defeated Rob Blivious in a submission match due to a lot of OSA cheating. Not because we had to cheat, just because we could cheat. Christian Greed at that time, who was our manager, was the public access spokesperson. So he had the opportunity to make matches, change matches, decide what aired on TV and what didn't.
You got that hard. Tommy Thunder, just open him up with that bat.
Now another item we brought in. Oh boy, just throwing items in the ring floor.
Bucket now. Oh! Just shot.
Next up, Tommy Thunder and Oblivious, and this was another victory for the Old School Alliance as Tommy Thunder got the win in a hardcore match.
Push him off the ropes now, 4. Oh!
As I said earlier, Mumbles screwed up the entire main event and then left early, causing us to rewrite everything. After the issues we had with TJ Money and his world title victory, I was having major doubts. And even at this time, I might have made my mind up already that he wasn't going to win at the pay-per-view.
Mumbles, baby.
But it's really,
You see, Mumbles, this is for getting my match cut out.
What do you say?
Oh.
That is messed up. You just couldn't go match without showing everyone your butt. It's disgusting.
The problem was if he didn't win, there would be a mutiny. I can't tell you how serious everyone took that world title, and in everyone's view, if I didn't lose it to him, it would be because I didn't want to lose the belt. So I knew it just as strong back then as I do sitting here today that no matter what, that belt had to come off me. But in the back of my head, I knew Mumbles couldn't be the guy. So what were we supposed to do? We'll talk about it all and what happened the next couple weeks right here on Backyard Wrestling Cinema.
Super sweep, I got this. Lay down the foot.
Yo, man, your hands are sweaty.
And oh! Got it. I think a brick wall.
again.
Oh!